All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Friday afternoon. Blessings to everybody. In the name of Yeshua, Jesus, the Messiah, I pray everybody is super blessed in many ways. Man, we are going to be getting into this juicy Bitcoin price action here, guys. Because, it's getting crazy out there, guys. There's Binance FUD. There's a whole bunch of FUD. We will be live momentarily. As usual, guys, if we can get 1,000 likes in the first 30 minutes, we will be giving away $500 worth of Bitcoin. It's going to be a good time. All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Friday afternoon, and man, what is going on? There is no music in the background, which is a huge issue, so we're going to have to fix that. Guys, as usual, if we can get 1,000 likes in the first 30 minutes of this stream, we will absolutely be giving away $500 worth of Bitcoin. Now, that's some pretty juicy giveaways, if you ask me. Here we go. Some nice music in the background. Let's get it at a comfortable volume for our ears here. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to Eled Basti. He says, greetings to all VIP members. Thanks, Jason, for your life-changing knowledge. By the way, I'm in Discord VIP. I made the real money. God bless you. From Berlin, Germany. God bless you, man. Shout out to ABCDEF. Jason is a sexy boy. Well, I appreciate that, ABCDEF. I feel the same about you. Shout out to Robert Bonar in the chat. Shout out to Efren. He says, let's go. I am George. Let's go. Bitcoin dumping hard. Why? Oh my goodness. Did anyone else have fun with alts today? Says Stacy. My most profitable day since I started this journey 2.5 years ago. I couldn't have done it without your teaching. Jason, you are a blessing. Well, Stacy, I'm honored to hear such a thing. Shout out to the Tritium. Says, let's F go Dooney. Alright, I don't know what Dooney is. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what Dooney is. How can you be sexy like me? I don't know. I don't know. Shout out to Crypto Incognito. How to join this community? I want to get juicy money. Well, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. And please remember, guys, this is not a signals group. This is an educational group for trading cryptocurrency. That's indeed what this is. Man, well, let's take a look at these Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing right now? Bitcoin, guys, did in fact get a move and a bounce from the Fibonacci golden pocket earlier this morning. Then later on, during the New York Open session, we got another bounce right here from a local golden pocket, and we did make a higher high. But unfortunately, we have been dumping down a little bit. Now, this move right here was a move that we did catch this morning during the live stream, the VIP live stream this morning for New York Open. We were looking to long that 27,683 level, and that's where we did get the bounce from, 27,683, right around this area. We caught that move, and personally, I was looking for lower, but we didn't get lower, and things were actually looking pretty bullish this morning when we started to bounce. I was actually thinking we weren't going to get lower, but now here we are, coming back down, just a smidge lower here on the chart, and if we pull our fib from the local low to the new high, you can see that we are currently getting a bounce from the Fibonacci 786, and honestly, right now, guys, I'm a little bit interested in actually potentially looking for a long, and the reason why is because, well, we're bouncing from the 786. If we take a look at our good friend Market Cipher B, which I'm about to turn on, let's turn on our good friend MCB right here. Let's turn on our good friend Market Cipher B. You can see that we are indeed printing somewhat of a trigger wave here on the 12-minute time frame. And if we go down to the 6-minute time frame, you can see that we are in fact printing bullish uneven butt cheeks right here as we are bouncing from this 786 fib level. And yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. What I am currently looking at right now is potentially a retracement back down to the local golden pocket 786 area. From this low to this high. Wow, would you look at that, actually? Wow, would you look at that? We have bounced from the local 618 area right here. That is quite the juicy move, if I do say so myself. That is actually quite a juicy move. So this is actually pretty nice. I'm thinking we might be able to come up a little bit from here, guys. I'm thinking we might be able to come up a little bit from this area where we're at right now. I'm thinking we might be able to come up a little bit from here. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see, but I'm thinking we're going to have to come up a little bit after getting that bounce from the Fibonacci 618. Shout out to Hannah King. More banks in danger equals good for Bitcoin. Are there more banks in danger right now? Are there more banks in danger? I have not heard any news about this. All right, people are saying we're going to 30K. Well, okay, so here's what's happening right now on the Bitcoin price. Okay, we have bottomed out at the 786. We have gotten a bounce from the local Fibonacci golden pocket retracement right here. And now we're currently running into resistance, believe it or not, at the local Fibonacci golden pocket retracement. So this is a very interesting area to be trading right now in between two fibs. When we take a look at the order flow chart right now as well, we can see something that is also very interesting, which is this, guys. Like, as we came down to bounce from that local golden pocket, We saw a whole bunch of shorts actually opening up directly into it. So let's see if we can't get a little bit more of a move to the upside right now. This is a very sloppy chart that I currently have on my screen. So let's clean this up a little bit, and let's just kind of take a look at what we can expect here. Now, Bitcoin, here's the thing about Bitcoin. When we are on these higher term time frames, when we go to the weekly, I do have to say, guys, that I still remain bullish. I still remain bullish on the weekly time frame for a number of reasons. I know a lot of people are thinking that we are going to get a harsh correction, but for me, I am still bullish on some of these higher term time frames. First of all, we are officially now changing market structure here on the weekly time frame, right? Having bottomed out, we've got bullish market structure, a very bullish weekly close, and we only have 2 days left in the week, right? This weekly candle is going to close on Sunday, and so far, it's a doji candle. It's not a very bearish candle. It's a doji candle. Market Cipher B is breaking out of a trend line that we've got over here on the weekly time frame. Momentum is rising. We're about to get a money flow crossover. And in addition to that, I still think that just based on the most basic technical analysis, which is this invert head and shoulder that we have right here, we have a target that is approximately a little bit higher than we're currently trading at right now. Now, I know a lot of people don't like head and shoulder patterns because they say, well, you know, people counter trade them. That is very true. But when we're talking about things that are showing up on the weekly time frame, although there may be plenty of counter trades to be taken here, I myself still am holding a short trade from Wednesday, right? I do think that the target of this inverse head and shoulder pattern is coming in around $42,000. A very, very interesting target because it is the old mini range of this this chunk of price action right here. From February 2022 to March 2022, it's the high volume node of this range, all right? I actually really like the technical target of this inverse head and shoulders pattern. And I do have to say, when we are in bullish market structure, I'm not saying we can't get pullbacks, but when we're looking at these higher term time frames, there is obviously more room for upside here, right? Also, when we look at where we're at, just in the macro cycle, right? I'm just talking about the macro cycle, historically speaking. We are printing a bottom on Market Cipher B on the monthly time frame 1 year before the halving. And when we look historically at what has happened 1 year before the halving, as we come down to these key levels of fib support, it means we are about to get a big move, right? We can go back to 2015 and see. I'm sorry, this is before 2015, guys. This is the 2012 crash. Same thing happened 2012. We had it happen in 2015. We had it happen in 2019. Here we are again. Same exact pattern is playing out. So on the higher term time frames, guys, I am bullish. However, we do have to be aware that we have some important zones of support. Important zones of resistance coming up that we obviously need to be aware of. And I would say that the most important zone of resistance that we have is going to be the $30,000 level. Okay, that $30,000 level is the weekly order block. It's also the value area low of this last range right here. And so for me, I do see another push up. It wouldn't surprise me if we pump again over the weekend and find some kind of resistance around this $30,000 area. Now, why am I even still feeling bullish in the short term? Because we did get a harsh rejection on Wednesday, and a lot of people are getting very bearish. Well, the Fed came out, they raised rates 25 basis points, exactly what was predicted, And the markets did react with a pretty harsh move to the downside. When we're looking at lower term time frames, it was a very harsh move to the downside. However, when we just zoom out and look at what has happened here, we can see that literally nothing has happened, guys. Like, literally nothing has happened. We are still trading the range. We are still respecting the sideways range. We have not even put in a lower low from Saturday's low. So essentially, Bitcoin is the exact same price that we were a week ago. Nothing has happened, right? Nothing. We've seen, when we take a look at the dollar has had a lot of volatility. The dollar, interestingly enough, with the rate hike, is starting to get a little bit of a movement to the upside. When we take a look at the stock market, when we look at the ES, interestingly enough, this is the weekly time frame. The ES hasn't really reacted much either to this. So it's a whole bunch of nothing, guys. It's a whole bunch of nothing. It's literally a whole bunch of nothing. So I'm not getting overly bearish here until we actually lose this range to the downside. And look at what's happening right now, right? We have put in a bottom, we put in a high, and we have bounced from the value area low of the range, confluence with the Fibonacci golden pocket. And so we're still kind of holding this range right here. If we start to lose the range, then we have to understand that although things would look a bit more bearish here, we still have some pretty key zones of support below us that, in my opinion, unless we break them, things are still looking very bullish. And I would say that for me, it's the 200-week moving average. The 200-week moving average is also a very important, I mean, we could even look at this as like a diagonal level of support and resistance. And this is, to me, is the make it or break it level. I do believe that a retest of the 200-week moving average would be very, very juicy for a potential long. And I understand what people are talking about when they say, look, there's a bearish divergence on the daily. I understand people feeling bearish from this upside down sandbagman freed bearish man boot pattern on the daily, right? We definitely see money flow turning purple, very bearish, and we see the momentum waves printing a lower high. This is very, very bearish right here, right? The upside down sandbagman freed bearish man boot pattern is basically where Sam Bankman-Fried, his man boobs get lower, the money flow gets lower, the red pepperoni nipples get lower as the price is getting higher. But here's what we have to understand. The only reason why I'm not freaking out about this like I normally would is because of the higher time frames and the lower time frames. The daily time frame looks bearish as heck. The weekly time frame still to me looks very bullish. Like if we close this weekly candle as either a doji or even a slightly blue candle, I believe we're going to see a money flow cross next week. When we look at the 6-hour time frame here, look at the money flow on the 6-hour, right? Yes, I understand that the 1 day looks very bearish, but look at the 6-hour money flow here. It looks like it's getting thicker to me. And what looks like to me is that we've experienced holding support, the money flow holding support here on the 0 line. This is just what it looks like to me, okay? I'm not saying it's guaranteed that we're going to pump from here. We could dump all the way back down. But all I'm saying is, to me, when I'm looking at the 6-hour, when I'm looking at the 8-hour of money flow continuing to get thicker here, as we just range sideways, with the weekly also looking so bullish, it makes me lean a little bit more bullish. Understanding also that we haven't seen what I would consider to be any kind of sign of weakness at these levels, right? What would be a real sign of weakness? For me, a real sign of weakness would not happen until we take out there's a few ways to look at it, but for me, a true sign of weakness would be taking out these lows right here. This would be the first sign of weakness, taking out the lows and then being unable to put in a higher high, right? That would be a true sign of weakness for me. So what I would be looking at is if we come down to test this 200-week moving average again, and then we come back into the old range as such, like this, and then we are unable to reclaim some of these key zones of resistance. Let's say it's the Fibonacci golden pocket. This is hypothetical, right? Because we don't know what price has done yet. But as we come up to this area, we start to see even more bearish divergences forming. Then we could say, okay, this is now a sign of weakness. We can be looking for more downside. But until we see that, for me, market structure is king. We have not put in a lower low, and so there's no reason to get overly bearish here, especially since money flow is also getting thicker. Now, in the 1 hour, it is getting thinner. Okay, 1 hour it is getting thinner, right? But market structure is still king, in my opinion, right? In my opinion. But in the meantime, I do plan to hold on to my short trades. I do plan to hold on to my long trades, and let's see what happens, right? I did, as you guys saw, add to my long trade. I added to it on Wednesday when we came down to these areas. And the reason why I added here is because I had a very clear plan, right? I was looking for 2 specific levels in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. We're looking for basically a short trade from around that high that we put in at like 28,914, and then a long from around 26.8, right? So when we came down to 26.8, I added to my long trade according to the plan. and I'm still holding out for higher Bitcoin prices here. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Wow, we've got about 900 people in here. If everybody likes the video in the next 7 minutes, we can give away $500 worth of Bitcoin. How can we get 1,000 likes if not even 1,000 people are watching? Well, I don't know. Share the video with your mom. Tell her to come like the stream. What is CME? CME is the futures market. That is the futures market. Yes, I FOMO'd in, but here's the thing. When I say I FOMO'd in, we have to understand something. I had limit orders set that didn't get hit, right? So I was planning to enter at that level no matter what. Right? All right, so what is going on locally right here? We do have some pretty interesting levels of support below us right now. If we come down lower, I would also be interested in potentially looking at a long trade from around 27,300. 27,300 is going to also be a key area of support. Basically, we are looking at a local CDW right here. That is one level I've been looking at all day, hoping to potentially grab a long trade from. All right. Don't lie to give money. Ganesh P says, don't lie to give money. Shout out to Ganesh P, my man, in the house. He says, don't lie to give money. Bro, I don't lie to give money. In fact, Ganesh P, if you give me your Bitcoin address right now, I'll give you $100 of Bitcoin just for being a troll. Shout out to a Bailey Blake who smashed the like 27 times but only clocked up one. I'm sorry, man. It happens. It happens. Okay, so yeah, we very well may come up from here. A reason being is because we have come down and bounced from a local 786 and then got a retest of the local golden pocket. So let's see what happens. Shout out to Ryan F. He says, what's up, my brother in Christ? God is good. God bless you, bro. God is so good, guys. I've had a crazy week, man. It's literally been the craziest week of my life. That's not true. It hasn't been the craziest week of my life, but it's been a very intense week. A very, very intense week. But God is good. We should take a look at some altcoins here, guys. Let me know what altcoins you guys want to see. Shout out to Naruto Edits. He says, don't tell the truth to make money. Ganesh P says, I'm continually watching live on this to end, but you tell only lie to give 500 worth of Bitcoin. Bro, what are you talking about, man? What the heck are you talking about? Bro, I told you to give me your Bitcoin address. You didn't. Instead, you just, now you're saying that you're continually watching live. All right, okay. Well, you had your chance, bro. You had your chance. I would have given you $100 right now. But it didn't happen, I guess. All right. All right. If we can get 1,000 likes in 4 minutes, I will be giving away $500. Shout out to Surface 9. Yeah, let's take a look at some some other coins here. Oh, shout out to Prius Radley. He says, here is Ganesh's address. That's funny, bro. That's funny. Why is everything moving down? Well, nothing's really moving down, right? Let's be honest. Nothing's really moving down too much, right? We're simply just ranging sideways, guys. We are simply just ranging sideways. And right now we're getting a local bounce from a local Fibonacci golden pocket retracement. Yeah, let's take a look at some altcoins here. We'll take a look at EOS. Well, actually, let's take a look at BNB first, because there was some Binance FUD today. Binance stopped withdrawals from the exchange for a while there, which was pretty crazy. I was getting a little bit concerned that that Binance might go down a little bit. So this is very interesting. When we take a look at the Binance chart here, the BNB chart, we can see that, well, we are just kind of in this little range as well. We have come up to a weekly area of resistance on the Binance chart, the BNB chart, and that is why we are finding resistance here. We have basically come up to a weekly zone of resistance, and let's go ahead and just check out, like, where would I be looking to potentially hop into a buy position on BNB. So we are ranging sideways very, very nicely. I like to pull the volume from the whole May dump where Luna went down to nothing. We have come up, rejected from the value area high, bounced from the value area low. We've got a CDW, and now we are getting a retracement. This is actually a nice looking chart in my opinion. I think this is nice because we have officially now changed some market structure here. On the weekly, we've put in a low, we've put in a high, we've put in a higher low, and now potentially we are looking to put in a higher high. And when we see what's happening right here, if we're going on the assumption that we are in fact going to put in a higher high, then I think we can just use some Fibonacci and some volume to determine where's the juiciest place to be looking for a potential buy position on BNB. And for me, it's very, very simple. I really like what I see here on the weekly chart. Let's go to the daily chart. Yes, I enjoy what I see here, guys. So I'm really enjoying this zone right here for a buy on Binance, BNB coin. And the reason why is because we have, right in this zone here, a Fibonacci golden pocket. We have a weekly order block. We have a zone of liquidity that could be snatched up before getting a reversal to the upside. And we are in some bullish market structure right here. We also do have a local value area low. So I would be very interested in the area between $289 and $300, the $11 zone, for a potential buy on this. Now, what would I want to see in order for me to actually pull the trigger? I would very clearly want to see 4-hour bullish divergences. 4-hour bullish divergences, something very similar to what we saw over here. Something very similar to what we saw over here, where as the price is getting lower, we've got the 4-hour momentum waves getting higher. And I would want to see that on the 4-hour time frame, the 1-hour time frame as well. Also, it would be really nice if we did something like this, right, where we do dump down a little bit more here. And let's say that we dump a little bit more, get a little bounce off the golden pocket, and then come down for one more low. As we do something like that, this could be a pretty nice opportunity, in my opinion, if we're seeing those 4-hour and 1-hour divergences. Yeah, that would be super juicy, guys. A very nice support resistance flip right here. And it would also be a pretty easy, in my opinion, if we're looking at this as a potential setup, it's like, look, if we're going to come lower than our box, then the idea is wrong and we can get out of the trade. So it gives us a clear setup with a clear, good risk to reward ratio, something like this. And if we're looking for a higher high on a higher term time frame, I mean, that's a very juicy trade setup. That's a very juicy potential trade setup. Of course, I would be taking profits before we get to there. I would definitely be taking profits at the just the highs of the range, which is still a 16% move, a 4-to-1 risk reward. Kind of juicy in my opinion. And I do hope nothing bad happens with Binance. That would be absolutely crazy if we do see some FUD happen with Binance here. Alright, we should take a look at some other assets here. When do you enter the trade after the div confirmation? No, I don't enter a trade after div confirmation. I enter before confirmation. And I put my stop loss where the invalidation of my idea is, right? So wherever my idea becomes invalid, that is where I put the stop loss. Because if you wait for confirmation, there's a good chance that you could miss a big portion of the move, right? There's a good chance you could miss the big portion of the move. And we don't want to do that. We don't want to be missing big portions of moves. All right. Let's see who we got in the chat here. Shout out to Robert Bonar in the chat. Is Crypto Lifer in the chat right now? I see some people mentioning Crypto Lifer. If Crypto Lifer's in the chat, man, shout out to you, bro. God bless you, man. Everybody go like, subscribe, follow Crypto Lifer. All right, a lot of people want to take a look at FTM. Let's take a look at FTM. All right, so Phantom, guys. Phantom. We haven't done TA on Phantom in quite some time. We have not done TA on Phantom since Wednesday, February 8th, 2023. That's the last time we did Phantom TA on this YouTube channel. And we were looking for a buy from this green box. And what do you know? It worked out pretty dang nice to get a bounce from the green box. And we ended up bouncing from the box on Friday, March 10th, 2023. So shout out to anybody who got into a position there. Now, personally, this is not what I would want to see right now. All right, I would not really want to see this lower high being made. So what we need to do, first of all, if anybody is in a margin trade, a leverage trade, shout out to Bob Marley. Crypto Lifer is the man. Can we get a look at XRP? Yes, we will look at XRP next. I would definitely be taking some dang profits on this, and the reason why is because money flow is getting lower, red dot printing on the daily. At the very worst or best, we can compound if we get another move to the downside. So let's kind of clear this off. Let's do some fresh TA on FTM because we got a very big move to the upside. We rejected perfectly from the support resistance flip. We came down, bounced perfectly from our green box, retesting this very important value area high, previous resistance now as support. What we need to do now to determine like how we're going to play this is we need to just figure out, first of all, what is happening with the volume. So let's adjust this volume profile. The value area high is still the exact same here. So this is great because if we start to lose now this key level of 40 cents, then we definitely need to, I would say, be closing out longs if we're in them. Taking some profits off the table. Right now, this is actually pretty interesting because the Fibonacci golden pocket is coming in right back here at this value area high. So I would say that this, for me, would be a make it or break it zone. If we're going to lose this, I would assume that we would be coming down lower. Let's see, where did we actually reject from? If we pull a fib from the high to the low, you can see that we rejected right from the Fibonacci golden pocket. So there's no surprise that we're finding resistance at the Fibonacci golden pocket. That is the place, if we're going to find resistance, that we will find resistance. Of course, the fact that we're rejecting here means that we really, this could be a lower high. And I do have to say that based on this market structure of our high, our low, our lower high, our lower low, and our lower high, this is officially now flipped into bearish market structure on the daily time frame, which basically means I think there's a higher probability that we see lower than higher. So if we do see lower, let's kind of figure out where we would want to be looking for that support to come in. You know, we've already bounced from our local Fibonacci golden pocket. So let's put on some other fib levels here. All right, let's go to our weekly time frame. Now on the weekly time frame, I still think that there is potential for more upside, just looking at our market cipher. You know, I don't really see any level that I really like, that really stands out to me. I don't see anything that really stands out to me here. Which is a shame, because I wish I could say, look, this is the level. Shout out to Ryan F. Can't figure out the best places to put a fixed range in a volume profile. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ryan F. He says, I'd like to start using that anyway. You can show me real quick. So when it comes to using a fixed range volume profile, you're simply just going to be looking for places where you think the range is forming, right? So if you think there's a sideways range, let's say between this area and this area, that's where you're going to pull it. There's a lot of subjectivity to it, my friend. There's a lot of subjectivity to it. You would be looking for chunks of price action that you think are a range, right? I would look at this as one. I would look at this as one. And then I would also look at this entire thing as one, right? So there's some subjectivity to it, right? For more information on how to use it, check out the course, jasoncaspertrading.com. We go into it in much detail here, but all I can say is there's subjectivity to it. You just use your eye to see, look, where's like a range of price action that I feel needs to be its own little area. Okay, so SPX, shout out to Hannah King. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's getting a little pump right now. Let's take a look at Bitcoin on an order flow chart to see what's happening. Okay, so Bitcoin getting a little bit of a bearish divergence locally here. Yeah, it looks like the S&P 500 is getting a little pop to the upside. And Bitcoin not doing very much here, guys. Not doing very much. We're still respecting the bigger channel. Can we take a look at 7860? I need something good to look at. You know, I don't have a picture of 7860 pulled up here. You know, I have some pictures. I have a picture of Caroline. If you need something good to look at, we can look at Caroline. We have 15-minute bullish CVD. Let's check it out. Yeah, so we have some pretty dang bullish CVD from here to here, guys. We have some pretty dang bullish CVD from here to here. We have a lot of shorts that have opened up as the Bitcoin price has come down to what I would consider to be a key zone of support, which is going to be the 786 Fibonacci level from here to here. Right? We have come down to the 786 Fibonacci with bullish CVD. And not only have we come to the 786 Fibonacci with bullish CVD, but if we zoom in, we even got a retest here. We got a retest right here from the low to the high. And we bounced perfectly from the Fibonacci golden pocket, right? So there's a lot of confluence right here at this area. I'm sorry, not this golden pocket right over here. We came down to retest the Fibonacci golden pocket with even more bullish CVD, right? We had macro bullish CVD right here, and then we had local bullish CVD right here, which could have made for a very juicy potential scalp trade. I actually did take a scalp from that level, from the retest of the Fibonacci golden pocket, and currently am holding it now. Let's take a look. You longed the lows, you're sweating, man. Well, don't sweat. Here's a trick. If you longed the lows, here's a trick that you can use to stop sweating. Just take profit and then move your stop loss to the entry. It's a good technique. It will allow you to win the trade and then not worry about losing, right? It's a good technique, right? How strong is the resistance at 278,000? I think it's pretty good resistance, my friend. Shout out to the coach, Stefan. When we get to 278,000, I do believe that we may find some good resistance. All right, we should be taking a look at XRP as well. But now Bitcoin's starting to get a pump here. I'm hoping that we can get a pretty nice pump. Maybe we can get up to $30,000 Bitcoin. We'll have to wait and see. Let's wait and see. Come on, Bitcoin. Okay, while we're waiting for Bitcoin to go up to 30K, we are going to take a look at XRP quickly. Let's take a look at XRPizzle. Take a look at XRPizzle. Shout out to Lauren. Stop loss at entry, TP1. Yeah, that's the way to go. I mean, yeah, you'll do very well. TP1 stop loss to entry, and it removes all the psychology from trading. All right, so XRP, man, would you look at this? So here's the thing about XRP, right? We have come to. I mean, XRP got a bounce from support, right? XRP got a bounce from support. This is the weekly time frame, and many weeks ago, wait a second. Hang on one second, guys. Hang on one second. What is going on here? Here we go. Many weeks ago, XRP came down to this key zone of support, the value area low of the range, right here. And we got a very, very nice bounce. And now XRP is getting a rejection from none other than, and we took it out. Well, I mean, we did take this out, man. I shorted the golden pocket, hit a TP1, stopped out of my entry. But essentially, guys, where we are finding resistance right now is this weekly order block, confluence with the Fibonacci golden pocket, confluence with the value area high of the range. There's nothing crazy happening with XRP. We have literally just traded the range from the low to the range high, and now we are getting a move back down. So if you're bullish on XRP, I personally am bullish on XRP in general. I think it's a good asset. Don't pay attention to the news, the SEC, and the lawsuit. Don't pay attention. Don't care at all about it. But I do have to say that I longed XRP from down here. This was one of the setups we gave in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. And I have since long closed out that trade. I've closed out that trade when we started to get this move back down. I just completely closed it out. So let's take a look at where we can be looking now for potentially another long on XRP. Because here's the thing. This low is we have some nice bullish structure here. Okay, we're still trading a range, right? We're still absolutely trading a range. But we're making higher highs and higher lows on the weekly time frame, which is nothing to scoff at, right? So let's pull a fib from the low to the high, see what we got. Let's see what we got. Yeah, interesting. Let's go to our daily time frame. Interesting. Okay. There's a few places I would be interested in right now. There's a few places that I would be interested in. Area number one of interest for me is obviously going to be the golden pocket confluence with the local value area low right down here. This is going to be an area of interest for me. If we hold this zone as support, guys, to me that is very bullish. This is a clear support resistance flip. I mean, literally, it was support back in May. It was resistance in June. It was resistance support consistently throughout all this time. And so if we do come back down here, it would make a nice bounce from the low of a local range. That is one area that I would be interested in. The second area that I would be interested in is a little bit more obscure, right? But it is basically coming back down to around the 33-cent area. Here's why I like the 33-cent area. It's a weekly order block, right? Let's clear off some of this noise here. The 33.89-cent area. It's a weekly order block. And in addition to that, it's a very nice support resistance flip, just coming down to the low of the range that we had before that anomaly, that wick anomaly, right? It's basically just coming back down to support. I mean, it's literally just coming back down to support. And it's a level of support that we had for a very, very long time. That wick was a huge anomaly. Unless you were ready and waiting for it, it would have been very hard to get, right? And so I would be super interested in potentially coming back down to this level here for an XRP long. Why? Because it would literally wreck everybody who has longed this whole way up, coming back down to key support. And if we do that, can you imagine what the daily time frame would look like? It would look very bullish, extremely bullish. Bullish divergences on the daily. This is an area that I am very much so interested in. Let's see if we have any other confluences here. Oh man. Alright guys. It's also the 786 fib. And as a lot of you know, the 786 is the new 618. Alright, the 786 is the new 618. The 786 is looking pretty dang juicy. Yeah, so I would have to say, if I could pick any place where I would look to buy Ripple or long Ripple, it would definitely be 33.89 cents. I would like to see the 1 day giving bullish divergence, the 4 hour giving bullish divergence. This gives us plenty of time for the 4 hour to cool off and start to do what it did back here, right? What it did back here. This is what we want to see. We want to see as the price dips into our box, right? We don't care what happens before it dips, all right? Before the dip, it doesn't matter, okay? Before the dip, it doesn't matter. But after the dip, then we want to be seeing that 4 hour time frame giving us some bullish divergences. All right, some nice bullish divergences. With preferably the money flow getting thicker, just like what we saw back here. I mean, just like what we saw back here. So we're going to let this thing cool off. It's going to come down. It's going to do something like this. And then once it starts doing this, right, and we start to see those juicy, uneven butt cheek pattern on market Cipher B, right? The juicy left cheek, the skinny right cheek. That's when I would get super dang interested in a buy on XRP. You know? That would be, if I could choose anything, I would choose that 33.89 cent area. There's a lot of confluence there. Just so much. It's just screaming. It's screaming at us. Shout out to Robert Bonar. He says 7860 is hot. Shout out to Okie Dokie. He says, Jason, we're at the top of the third wave right now. Therefore, we can expect a correction back to 21.5 and run up to 25K, back down to 20 or 18. Only then will we start the actual bull run. Cool, cool. Okie dokie. You know, it could be true, my friend. It could be true. I'm not much of an Elliott wave guy. You know, so it could be true. Like, you know, I'm not much of an Elliott wave guy because there's always bullish and bearish Elliott wave counts. And, you know, shout out to him. My French accent kills you every time. Where's my stop loss for that 786 entry on Ripple? Well, there's a few ways to do it. Honestly, the true invalidation of the idea would have to be below this wick. If we're looking at it as a real swing trade, I would not do that, right? I would personally wait to see a bounce from this box, and once I see the bounce, I would enter the trade, and I personally would put my stop loss below the 786. That's what I would be looking at, below that 786. Give it maybe like 1% or 2 below. But in general, my trading idea would be something like this. Right, 4% stop, and I would target. Obviously, we would target the high of the range, which is still a 5 to 1, but then I would target another high. Let's check out what happened here, because we did reject from a nice area. Where did we reject from? From the POC, guys, of that old range right here, right? POC of that old range. So yeah, I would be looking for a new high. I think if we're gonna come back up above this value area high, we'll probably at least come to the value area high of this old range. This is a very juicy 12 to 1 risk reward. That's where I put the stop loss. That's where I put the stop loss for this idea. Let's check out Bitcoin again. What is she doing? Okay, Bitcoin's getting another pump to the upside here, guys. Bitcoin getting another pump to the upside. What is the benefit of CoinLies versus EXO? It's free. That's the benefit. Shout out to J. Casperino here every day. Yeah, shout out to Always Explicit. Does anybody know? Does anybody know the answer to this question? How to tell if you got the ARB airdrop? Does it just show up in your spot account? Because I personally don't know. If anyone knows, let Surface9 know. Where do I think we're headed with Bitcoin? Well, personally, I think that I feel like we're going to pump over the weekend, guys. I feel like we're going to pump over the weekend. That's just me. I could be wrong. I'll admit, I'm a little bit biased. I'm a little bit biased, and I have bullish blinders. I'm a little bit biased with bullish blinders. But I think we're going to come up to the $30,000 zone. I think we're going to come up and hit 30K. That's what I think. That's where I think we're headed with Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's going to 100K right now. It's pumping. It is pumping. That's true. Is there a website you link address using Meta and it tells you if you're eligible for the drop? Okay, so Brandon says there's a website to get the airdrop. There's a website you link your address using Meta and it tells you if you are eligible for the drop. Interesting. Interesting. Lauren also thinks we're going to pump over the weekend. Elliott Wave, here's the thing. Elliott Waves use Fibonacci. Elliott Waves, they do use Fibonacci. I mean, Elliott Waves are just a super fancy way of saying it could do this or it could do that, right? It could do this or it could do that. You know, no hate on them, but in my opinion, that's literally what they are. They're like, it could do this or it could do that. This could be a wave 3 if this is a wave. It's just a whole bunch of if-thens. It's basically the same thing as what we all do, except it's a little bit more structured. There's a little bit more rhyme to the reason, right? Am I calling the macro val at 29K? Yes, basically. I would consider the macro val to be at 29K. Thoughts on Chainlink Graph? I don't know anything about Chainlink Graph. I don't know anything about it. Never even really heard of Chainlink Graph, to be honest with you. Does it have to do with Chainlink? Every type of TA is just T or A. Yeah, for sure. That's true. All right, let's take a look what's happening right now on this Bitcoin order flow chart. So we've had some shorts get wrecked here. We've had some longs opening up here. Now we have some shorts opening up after that last pump. People are shorting this. They're saying this is unsustainable. This is not sustainable development agenda 2030 right here. This is straight up unsustainable. This is a carbon-based life form, very unsustainable. We need to short this baby down. And you can see that we've got some shorts opening up locally here. But other than that, there's nothing too crazy going on. I would say this. Overall, when we're looking at this order flow chart, this is a very bullish divergence right here. I mean, from this low to this higher low, with the CBD coming down this much, with tons of shorts opening up into this low, that is a very bullish divergence. That's kind of why I feel like we're going to pump over the weekend. When we take a look also at market Cipher, it's so hard to say, man. It's hard to say. We definitely got some bullish divergences. Actually, we didn't even get bullish divergences. We didn't even get bullish divergences, guys. People want to take a look at ETH. Ansh, do you want to look at ETH? Should we take a look at ETH? What do you say? What do you say? Why did I stop singing the pump song? I guess I haven't sung it in a while, right? I haven't sung the pump song in a while, guys. You're right. I've been too tired to sing it. It takes a lot of energy to sing the pump song. Also, we haven't really had any juicy pumps that warrant the pump song lately. You know, probably next week. I think I'm feeling next week for the pump song. I'm feeling next week for the pump song. Okay, so we have bullish money flow. We have bearish momentum right here. You know what? I'll bet you Bitcoin's gonna pump over the weekend. I just feel it in my bones. Shout out to whoever gave the super chat. I obviously I'm not gonna be able to pronounce your name here. Didn't you find out that 790,000 Bitcoin were transferred out of Binance? I did not hear that many Bitcoin were transferred out of Binance. That does seem like big trouble. But who knows? I don't know. Maybe they're transferred out of Binance because they're looking to just use that to trade, right? Maybe they're gonna 1x inverse perpetual that and try and double their Bitcoin in the bull market, right? The current bull market. Who knows? Who knows? I sang it last Thursday stream. Okay. All right. We have a huge bearish div on the 4 hour. Do we have a huge bearish div on the 4 hour? Let's check out the 4 hour. We do have a bearish divergence on the 4 hour. Yes, we do. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, we do. Here's one thing. I do just want to point this out, okay, guys? When we look at this structure, right? In my opinion, high-term time frames are very bullish. We had a huge bearish divergence on the 4 hour throughout this entire chunk right here. We had huge bearish divergence in this entire chunk here. So, I guess my point is, these bearish divergences, they are resulting in higher lows, right? They're resulting in a scenario where buy the dip is a good move. And when we look at this now, okay, the 4 hour money flow is getting thicker now, right? The 4 hour money flow is getting thicker. So it makes it a little bit more difficult to trade. It's different than when we're trading a clearly defined sideways range. We have to remember, we just broke out of a massive range. This was a massive range that we had been trading for like a year, right? This was the top of a range. Now we've officially broken out of it. So it's hard for me to get overly bearish unless we're going to lose that 200-week moving average, right? It's hard for me to get overly bearish. And I do think that if we were going to get some kind of massive rejection, we would have already seen more downside based on Wednesday's volatility. That's why I still am leaning like we're going to pump over the weekend. If I'm wrong, look, I will gladly say, look, I was wrong, because, you know, I don't know, right? I don't know. Yep, we're resting on top of a bullish megaphone pattern, says Bad Main Light. Yeah, when we take a look at this, we have a bullish kind of megaphone pattern here. Depending on how you want to draw this thing. Look at that, wow. Yeah, we've retested it perfectly. This retest, I mean, this retest was a very, very juicy technical level, right? It was a very, very juicy technical level. It was the target of, you know, that drop that we got on Wednesday. It was the target of this triangle break to the downside. It was a Fibonacci golden pocket. It was a daily level. It was a CME Fibonacci gap, a CME futures gap. It was a 786. It was a lot of stuff, right? It was a lot of stuff. All right, Shoaib, I'm sorry, I don't have time to look at stocks today. I actually am about to head out, guys, because, well, it's a weekend and I'm tired, and I got some stuff to do. But look, guys, God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here on the stream. I really do appreciate you all. Next week's going to be a juicy one, guys. Make sure to take some rest over the weekend. Take a break from these charts. May the Lord bless you all. May He protect you. May He shine light upon you. May He have grace upon you. May the Lord turn His face towards you and give you completeness. In the name of Jesus, the Messiah. Y'all have a good weekend. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.